Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to talk about some more features found in iOS 18 here on my iPhone 15 Pro. Yes, iOS 18 is going to be a very expansive update for our iPhone devices. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. And the first thing we're going to address is a couple more lock screen features that I didn't notice the first time around. And so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the fact that when you're editing, if you press and hold, you hit customize, pick your lock screen, and once you hit the time, there's a new gradient color right here. So if I click it, you see it'll change colors. It doesn't necessarily match your background per se. This one just happens to match this specific wallpaper. But that gradient is now available for our iPhones when changing our clock colors. And so I just wanted to highlight that there. And also, new widgets were added, such as the journal. So once scrolling down here, we're going to see a new category in here, and it is going to be the journal. And the journal now has the streaks widgets because that is a new feature they added to journal. They have a new entry widgets. They have journal suggestion widgets, audio recording widgets, which really might actually work very well because that's one of the things I'd like to test in general is audio recording my entries or an entry from time to time, sometime real on the spot. And you might just want to do a quick recording as opposed to trying to type everything out. Then you have a photos widget, a camera widget, places widget, and a state of mind widget. So those are things that you can add now to your widgets for your lock screen, and that is via the journal. And that's the only other new one that I had spotted there. So now that we have addressed the lock screen, while we're here on the lock screen, I forgot I took it off. You can actually completely remove your lock screen apps. So you see I have a clean, fresh look now, and that's because I removed the two apps down at the bottom. I usually have a flashlight down there, but I actually removed it. So that's what I wanted to talk about next is the flashlight. So upon swiping down, clicking on the flashlight, you see a new widget pop up for the dynamic island. And all you gotta do is press and hold to click on it. You can adjust the brightness, and as you guys can kind of see in the background, you can see it changing right there, but then you can also change the spread of the actual flashlight. So if you want really bright, you see how it concentrates in the background. So very neat, very cool to see the flashlight being able to be manipulated in that way, and you can turn it off right there within that kind of dynamic island widget. So I did want to highlight the flashlight as another new updated improved feature of iOS 18. The phone app also has some improvements. So upon clicking on the phone app specifically with the AirPods Pro via the new AirPods Pro update that will be in sync with iOS 18 adds voice isolation and the ability to head nod or shake your head when talking with Siri. That is all with iOS 18 as well. And specifically, the voice isolation feature is when you're on a phone call, it will help basically eliminate a lot of background noise and enhance the dialogue that's taking place on the phone call. That's something that we have coming with the phone app and the AirPods Pro. And along with that, that leads us right into accessibility. And if we come down here into accessibility, I think I passed it because they moved the settings around. We come here at accessibility. There's another way to enhance dialogue via voice isolation, and that is in the audio visual. Click on it, and I have it turned on, but you see extend voice isolation. Well, this is going to help with video playback and adds enhanced dialogue to additional voice isolation during video playback. And this setting can be adjusted in the video player controls. So you can enhance your dialogue further with videos that you watch, whether it's in Apple TV Plus or not, with this feature, so that way you can get even better audio, maybe even louder dialogue or vocal audio, so that way you can continue to enjoy your listening experience. Now, while here, another accessibility feature is background sounds. And upon clicking on this is basically kind of like a meditative, kind of like a focus type thing, or at least you can use it in that way. And you have different sounds you can use. Night and fire are now added to the list. So this has always been around. They just added 2 new sounds in Fire and Night that I just mentioned. So that's those features there when it comes to those accessibility features. We also have a few more accessibility features, and I do not believe they're in this screen here. If we actually swipe back, we will see that we have vocal shortcuts. Vocal shortcuts allows you to give Siri a new name. So you can teach your iPhone to recognize a custom phrase that you can say to quickly perform an action. Audio is processed on iPhone. So this is one of those machine learning, Apple Intelligence features where you're able to now give Siri a new name. The only downside is it will take Siri a minute to recognize it because you are using the Shortcuts app. So upon setting up your vocal shortcut, naming it whatever you want it to be, so it could be computer, it can be Jarvis, it could be whatever you want. It's gonna take a second for it to prompt before you can then enact the action. So you do have to wait. There's a little bit of a wait period. So I think that takes away from setting up the vocal shortcut. And it's pretty simple. If you want to do that, you can set up vocal shortcuts, and then you could type search in here. Or you do not click Siri request. You don't want to do that. You want to do Siri itself. So upon clicking on Siri, you want to go to Siri, not Siri request. And then this way you choose your phrase. So for me, since I'm an Iron Man guy, I'm going to go with Jarvis. And then if I hit go, it's going to ask me to say it. Jarvis. 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 And so now that it says it's ready, let's see. And I hit continue, improve assistive voice features. I usually hit that. I don't mind because I don't have anything going on. So now let's see if it works. So if I press and hold to activate Siri, I'm just going to say Jarvis. Jarvis. You see that? So there's a slight prompt there before it kicks in, but it does work. So I might try that. I don't know. Let's see if I do Siri. Siri. All right, so Siri responds a little fast. Jarvis. Jarvis. So so I don't know. It seems like you have to call out twice before Siri decides she wants to respond in either situation, and you get a little haptic feedback for the vocal shortcut. So at least I know that I can say either one to activate it. I'll probably leave it on for now since it's kind of cool. But that is another accessibility feature that they added. And if we scroll a little bit upwards, and if we click in eye tracking. Eye tracking now works where if you turn this on, it will track your eyes. It will train you by you having to follow dots around. So then that way it can program its eye detection, hardware to follow your eyes, and then your eyes, wherever you're looking at, it will select that for you. And so I already had mine set up, so I think all I gotta do is turn it on. But because I'm behind the camera, see, it says follow the dot with your eyes as it moves. So it doesn't see my eyes right now. So that's why it's not going to work. And I've already done it before. So I'm actually a little surprised that it had me do it again. But it gives you a quick tutorial following the dots around the screen. And then from there on, you can use eye tracking. A little bit of Apple Vision Pro-esque, abilities there, which is pretty nice. And again, it allows for almost anybody to use iPhones without having despite their circumstances. So eye tracking is another one that they added, and there's another one in terms of motion. If we come into motion, you will see show vehicle motion cues. So once you click this on, this will put dots on the screen when you're in a vehicle, so that way it gives you something to concentrate on, and it lessens the motion sickness that takes place while driving in a vehicle or riding in a vehicle. And so that's a nice feature to have on. I'm not motion sick prone, so I'm good there, but I'm glad that they added that feature for other individuals who may actually suffer from those types of issues. So now, while backing out of accessibility, that ends the accessibility settings. What other settings do we have that's improved in settings? Well, the action button has now added a couple more actions. So as we see, we have all these that we have before, but now we have recognize music, so you can use this for Shazam essentially. So if you have a song you want to listen to, you can press and hold, and now you see Shazam's listening up at the top. That's very nice, and I love the action button animations in the dynamic island. Looks really good. We already seen translate. Translate looks phenomenal. It's probably like the best one we had. That just looks amazing. But we have controls, and now controls is basically stuff that's within your control center. So if you click on this, you can use this to, all right, thanks. Thank you. You can use this to activate your calculator, your stopwatch, your alarm, home, timer, right, your dark mode, capture scan mode, right? You have other connectivity things such as quickly turning on and off your airplane mode. You must have a phone dedicated to flying if you need that set as an action button. I'm just saying. You have so many things now that you can add to use to your action mode. For me, I'm going to go back to, and of course you can pick specific accessibility settings that you or actions you may want to use. You have shortcuts, of course, where you can create your own shortcut. You can have it do absolutely nothing. But for me, I've been enjoying using it as my camera button, and it has been just fine using it here, just like that. So that is the action button. And the settings that I also wanted to talk about was iCloud. So let me go ahead and click into my Apple account. And once I click on iCloud, iCloud now has improved looks. We have the subscriber button up, or a button, what to call it, a sticker, a stamp up here at the top, kind of certifying the fact that you are subscribed to iCloud Plus. And then you have the same sticker with Apple News Plus as well. If I don't know if anybody noticed, but you notice that the storage icons changed. I got to update my payment. I got saved to my iCloud. I got all these things saved in here. Just a complete revamped section. Looks a little more clean, more minimal. More straight to the point. If you need to click on anything in particular, it's a little more accessible in this way. So iCloud now has a more clean look. And actually, what's interesting about iCloud is now within the Folders app. So if we go to Folders, there's a new feature here, or Files, my bad, Files app. Goodness gracious. So if we click on Files, if I wanted to have a file here, what I can do now is keep downloaded copies. So even when it backs up, or if I do delete some things maybe in the iCloud, what I can do is still keep a downloaded copy on my actual device. So that's a nice feature that they added here when it comes to the Files app, bringing a little bit more granular control over your files on your system. So I like that they have going on there. iMessage has a nice ability. So if I come here to iMessage and I go to, text myself, Apple has math notes basically baked into anywhere you can do some typing. So if I do 2 plus 2, did I hit the, I don't think I did. I hit 2 plus, there we go, 2, hit this and I hit equals. As you see right there, it will give you you can keep the equation there or just put the answer there, which is 4. So if I want to do that, I can do that instead. So that's a nice feature benefit of iMessage now as well, is that if you need to do a quick math problem or solve a quick math problem, you can do so right there within the keyboard and the message text field. Very, very nice feature that they added there. You also have Maps. Maps now has the ability to do your offline map. So if we go here, your offline maps can now download to your Apple Watch. So all your offline maps can now be downloaded onto your your Apple Watch, and it's automatic. So it will automatically sync to your Apple Watch. That's a very, very nice feature in my opinion there, because just in case you're using your Apple Watch to get around, you now have your offline maps as essentially a backup on your Apple Watch. Very, very nice to see there. Now, jumping into the notes, there's a feature here that I overlooked. So if I just click on one of my note-taking situations where I was doing some heavy research on iOS 18. If I click the attachments button down here, you can now record audio. What's even more nice is it will record audio and transcript. So if I hit this, it's gonna hear me talk, and it's hearing me talk, and it's hearing me talk, and it's hearing me talk. If I hit pause and I hit this left button here, it should potentially show me what I have going on here. So if I go back, oh no, maybe not. So let's say I do this. Okay, maybe if I hit done, now that I have a voice note here, it should, oh, it doesn't. So it's supposed to be able to transcribe it. I might have to check and see, but it's supposed to have the ability to transcribe the message as well. Okay, so all it did was take a little bit of time. So when I hit this button now it shows what I had said in the actual audio recording message. And as you see here, it also now shows it there. So either it's just part of a bug or a glitch in terms of this being a beta, and that's why it took some time before the audio recording was actually transcribed, or it might take a little bit of time depending on how long the message potentially could be. You know, you have a couple factors that could factor in there. I don't need it, but I do like how it looks within the note as well. It looks very clean within the note. So doing a couple combination of, you know, recording, talking with actual notes written / typed out, then you could create much better well-rounded looking notes within the Notes app. I like that a lot. Now backing out and going into the Photos app also has a new update when it comes to editing a picture. So let's just take me, and then I want to hit the edit button. I believe that's it. And if I want to do automatic, wow, okay. By hitting this button up here, you can actually copy edits. Now, what's nice is if I do copy edits, oh, it didn't, maybe because I didn't actually do a real picture, but there's the ability now to do adaptive edits. So you can copy adaptive edits, which will affect the white balance and exposure of the image. That way you can actually copy and paste that over to the following video or photo. So that way you don't lose the specific look you were going for. So I wonder if I have anything I can actually test this on. So maybe I can here. Maybe if I do this, I test, I hit this, and then I come up here and hit that, and then I hit, now you do have appearance, but I don't think that's gonna do anything. Yeah, no, that has nothing, that's just the appearance of photos mode. So if I do adjustments, it will copy adjustments, but I think maybe I have to specifically play around with the white balance. So yeah, so once I played around with the exposure, so right here, if I play around with the exposure and then I come up here, then you'll see when I hit the copy edits, you'll see adaptive will pop up now. And if I select adaptive, it's gonna copy that exposure and tweak the exposure to match this exposure on the next photo that I pasted to. So that's a nice edit, a nice addition to the Photos app from Apple, because now they're even adding in their more sophisticated line of editing tools, so that way you don't have to rely so much on third-party software to do some editing, maybe even quick editing to some photos, and then batch edit those photos as a whole. So that way it kind of speeds up your workflow a little bit. I do like that. Apple Music, something I did not talk about. Apple Music actually has some improvements here. So shout out to Don Tolliver. Yo, he's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? If you come in here, you'll notice that the playlist now has changed. So now you have your shuffle, loop, and repeat all on the top here in bigger buttons, which is nice. But also, if you decide to go and add a song to the playlist, it will not actually get rid of your entire queue. It will just add it to the next song to be played, or add it at the end of the playlist. So let's say I have this playlist currently going on. I see trending songs and I'm like, oh, Sabrina Carpenter. And then I hit the plus. See, I can add it. I can play next. So it'll play after the next song, the current song that I have played, or I can play after the actual album. And so if I click that, I play after, and I come in here now, you see, It does not interrupt anything. If anything, it's going to play right after all of the songs on this album. So now it plays after the fact instead of wiping out the queue. So that's pretty nice when adding it to the queue. I would also say that now if you just go and click on the song to play, it will just play the song and that will still wipe out your queue. But it is nice that they actually added better controls over the playlist and over the current queue that you have lined up, so that way you don't lose the music you were trying to experiment with, test out, try and listen to. You had a playlist specifically for an event or a purpose. It's nice to see that change there for Apple Music. And the other nice part about this is the fact that you can actually clear the entire queue if you wanted to. So if you just want to come in here, now you have that clear button, it'll wipe out the queue with no problems for you. And that is Apple Music and some of the adjustments we've noticed so far throughout iOS 18. And these are some of the other features that are coming with iOS 18, and I'm sure there's probably still yet some more changes and or features that are here that are just still, they just haven't been stumbled upon yet. But when they will be, it will come to you. I will say, if dark mode icons is nice, it's just you have a lot of apps that still have not added a dark mode icon yet. It's really just like all of Apple's icons that default to dark mode, which look really nice too, by the way. So just keep that in mind as well when using dark mode. If you are trying to run the beta yourself, dark mode is still in its stages of being adjusted to by developers, so it might take a little bit of time. We'll see. I wouldn't think it would take time to create icons to be able to reflect dark mode, but I'm not a developer, so I can't even hold them to anything. Just know that most likely by the time iOS 18 is ready, within the next few months, we should have a lot more dark mode icons for third-party apps. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about iOS 18. Are you guys looking forward to it? What is your favorite feature so far? The comment section is open for discussion. Again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell, so I'll free that way in some videos, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super things button down there, about the like and dislike button, Cash App and PayPal, and check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's a way to keep the tech profession alive on this channel. Micah signing out until the next video. Wait for it.